Speaking of NXT, what's going on with Samoa Joe?
I just saw this. I haven't been really keeping up with NXT, but Samoa Joe relinquishes the NXT championship, which he had just won due to an undisclosed injury.
But no, it didn't even, did it say undisclosed injury? It said he was not cleared he was pulled by WWE Medical.
Well, undisclosed something, maybe not injury, undisclosed medical issue. Now I sound like a Vince kind of.
Yeah, it's like the fucking Republicans with Vince, because he's a Republican. Fucking cloak it all in weird language. They don't know what you're doing to him until it's too late. But with Joe, we had just said probably Joe was not going to be a long-term champion, more of an interim champion, because of they pulled Cross up to the main roster. Joe had not been cleared medically, and we didn't know why, but suddenly he's cleared medically, and he comes in and takes the belt, and we assumed it was going to be so he would transition it to somebody else that they would get in that spot, and this was just going to be the conduit to get it there, and now he just won it. He's not cleared by medical. They say he will not miss much time, but even then, they're taking it away from him, and they're going to do a four-way, which we will talk about this NXT program on the Experience this weekend, but they're going to do a four-way with, who is it? Dunn, Ciampa, LA Knight, and Kyle O'Reilly?
I believe so, yeah.
To determine the new champion. Okay, first of all, let's finish up on Samoa Joe. I don't know what the fuck's going on, but you can't. You know, he had an element of, how can I miss you if you won't go away? Well, we missed him because he'd been away, but now he comes back and now he gets derailed for no good reason and they can't explain it. And then he just gives the belt up, and now they're going to have a four-way, and they're going to take some luster off of Joe with this. And secondly, in that four-way, since they've got new ownership, let's say, do they want to go back to Tommaso Ciampa? He's been NXT champion. He's almost flawless, as we mentioned, in his work and his matches, and he's serious, but do they want to do it again? Certainly, they don't want to go with Pete Dunne, who couldn't say suey if the hogs had him, and there's that hair and that fake tan. Do they want to go with Kyle O'Reilly? I don't know whether I think so, because they're just talking about, we don't want smaller guys. Well, Kyle's the smallest guy, even though he's in the position in NXT, has been presented as a main event guy. Do the new people in charge feel that way? Or are they going to go with LA Knight, who's probably, out of the four of these guys, the worker that Vince McMahon would like the best because he's a classic professional wrestling style performer? And I'm a fan of his, and he can talk and he can work and he looks good physically. But the previous owners of this restaurant have been basically featuring him as a mid-card comedy guy involved with Cameron Grimes and his $1 million blah blah, and he just got beat on their last fucking big show by a middle card guy. So that makes me think LA Knight's going to be the new NXT champion. So let's see what happens.
I think you're right. You can make an argument for Ciampa just because he's under contract, I believe, for a little while longer, and he's not going to the main roster. He just wants to be in NXT, but LA Knight is probably the move. Although Kyle O'Reilly, I could see an argument for.
Well, I could see an argument for and again anybody at this point, but just trying to predict what they're going to do. None of it makes any sense at this point because this was not the original plan, and now they're just trying to scamper around and make up afterwards. But holy, and what does that say about NXT? That apparently the four best guys in it are Tommaso Ciampa, Pete Dunne, Kyle O'Reilly, and LA Knight at this point.
It says the main roster isn't the only roster depleted. It's a company-wide problem, but I would think if I had signed a contract with WWE and I was right now in developmental and I was right now possibly even working in NXT, I may be upset just thinking, what am I doing here? I'm wasting the years of my life. I want to leave this fucking company, but I have this contract that I can't get out of Although I probably could if I had a good attorney. It's just most wrestlers are scared of hiring attorneys and really fighting the big corporations.
Well, let me tell you what. They don't have to be scared no longer, Brian Last, because there's a man out there that if you hire him, he will bring perpetrators to justice. He'll bring baby faces to heel, and he'll bring heels, and he'll bring heels to heel. In other words, ladies and gentlemen, this man.
Call Stephen P. News. If you need to sue. An outlaw mud show or two. He'll sue the rest.
You know, I'm still waiting for somebody in the wrestling business who has a legitimate case and is not just out there trying to get rich to retain Stephen P. New and his various associates on this whole independent contractor situation. And I think we would see the walls of justice come tumbling down on some of the evil empires. But nevertheless, folks, you don't have to be under a bad contract. You can just be wounded or damaged in some way by a major corporation through negligence, greed, or avariciousness. Somebody has harmed you or your family members. The man, the myth, the legend, Stephen P. New can be on your side. NewLawOffice.com, 888-692-8084. We've said it a million times. Why chew our food twice? You know what he's famous for. He's famous for bringing justice to people who thought that they were in over their heads in these legal waters without help. He threw them a lifeline. He threw them a lifeboat. And that boat hit them right in the head, knocked them out, and they drowned. Then he started throwing lifelines because they're lighter than lifeboats. But anyway, you can go to his website. Did I mention NewLawOffice.com? You can see the many types of cases that Stephen P. New and his associates have handled with great success for members of the cult of Cornette and just general run-of-the-mill people running around loose, wandering around in this country. He'll do your business for you. What are you laughing at?
Run-of-the-mill people just running around loose?
That's right. He does not. He has no pretensions on grandeur. He doesn't have to deal with you if you're a millionaire or a billionaire. He deals with regular run-of-the-mill people. And if you are a regular run-of-the-mill person and you've been wounded or damaged or injured or taken advantage of, then he will find the person that did that and he will run them through the mill. And they'll be paying through their ass. You will get shit-covered money from Stephen P. New because he will make the perpetrators pay through their anal orifices. Stephen P. New, NewLawOffice.com, 888-692-8084 for shit-covered money.
The money will be clean. And
well, the way he got it will be clean, but he's going to drag it out of their ass. So it may be fecal flecked.
Perhaps we can get a cashier's check. Just turn that money into the bank. Yeah, maybe that would work.
Too. Yeah.